Let's see if everyone pops on for a little bit. I'm just hopping on for a little bit to show it all together and done because I'm going to be working on the base today, and that's going to be outside on my driveway. So I pulled out my table saw, my miter saw, because I got all the wood downstairs. So I just wanted to throw them together. I sent Tony pictures of them all together last night. So after baking the clear coat for about an hour in my oven, it was pretty much cured all the way. But you do have to let it cool off because it still is a little on the soft side. Not enough to where it's going to hold fingerprints, but now it's been baked and cured for, see, I got done clearing around 3 o'clock, so 12, 18 hours. So yeah, the clear coat's nice and hard and not going to go anywhere. So after I got the clear coat on and I baked, if you got to follow me on Facebook, I threw the whole desk in the oven. I warmed it up to about 150 degrees, and by the time I put it in there, it was about 140. I left it in there for about an hour. We need slap and drag, and slap and drag. What was it I want to do yesterday? What was I doing? Slap and wipe. Those are my trademark. Those slap and drag and slap and wipe. Wipe. So anyway, so Beast for the most part is done. I'm waiting on some stuff from Amazon. I've got some dry transfers coming in. Hopefully they're the right size to paint the keys on the keyboard. Oh, I got a little brush touch up there on the computer I just saw. No big deal. I got to put the keys on the keyboard as best I can. And I'm going to print book covers for this book and this book. So this book over here is going to go... I think it's I'm doing Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. So I forget which one has the green background, but actually the actual book covers are the. I didn't plan it this way, but like I think Huckleberry Finn is actually a green book cover, and it almost matches this perfectly. So I was gonna just do like gold lettering, but I'm gonna actually print the real book cover and a decal put on there, and then Huckleberry Finn. Actually, the book cover is kind of brown with a tan outline. It just happens to be, I didn't plan it this way. The top book is kind of a brownish leather. So I'm going to print the book cover and put that on there as a decal. And once those three things are done, this part is all finished. I did my touch-ups last night. After what I did is I took the, after I sprayed the clear coat, I did 3 rounds because there's some trash in my paint. There's nothing you can do about it. Once it's all together, it's not really noticeable. Once you take everything off, you can see all the little bits of trash on the desk. And I thought about wet sanding the top and buffing it. Unfortunately, there is like the gold areas are actually raised a little bit. And if I go in and start wet sanding, there's a good chance I'm going to sand through the clear coat and fuck up my paint. So I figured once it's all together, it looks really good. Nothing stands out as far as like there being trash in the paint. But, you know, I don't have a clean room. My spray booth is dusty, and there's always dirt in my paint. There's not, it just is what it is. That's why flat coat's your friend, because it hides all that shit. But anyway, this looks fucking fantastic. I am over the moon with how good he turned out. Tony loves him, which is the most important part. And I'm seeing like a little thing here on the fingernail. I'm sure it's gonna come off anyway. Let me just. Sometimes you don't fuck with stuff because you'll do more damage. A little speck there. Anyway, I'm not gonna mess with it. But yeah, the colors, everything just works really, really well. So super happy. This part right here took me right at 80 hours, which is what I anticipated. 2 weeks worth of work. The easiest part was actually the desk. The part I was dreading the most, the desk, was the easiest out of all of this. What was the hardest part? I don't think anything actually was really hard. The most frustrating part was trying to get a decal to come to do on the screen here. because I kept tearing them. I printed like 8 of them and only got like 2 to come off where they didn't tear. That was kind of the most frustrating part, and that little bit of paint lifting I had on the computer. Yeah, other than that, everything was pretty straightforward. You know, typical stuff I do on everything. Yeah, let's come this way. But he looks really good. The marbling I did yesterday fits really well with everything. It looks really high end, classy. You know. Let me come down here. Get some light on the front of the desk. You know, the wood grain turned out perfect. So, yeah, this all just it looks great. What you're seeing down here is the label. Sometimes these labels don't fit quite right. This one's actually coming off a little bit. It's not sticky enough, so we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't do any. Hopefully it stays on. It is old. You know, the label's over 10 years old. I can't turn them right now because until I get a base built, I can't rotate them. But I can kind of move my camera around a little bit. You can kind of see over here. I move. Hopefully you're not motion sickness, but you know the chair's back there looks really good. The glowing effect on the computer turned out perfect. So yeah, really happy with how this turned out overall. So I guess I'm just hopping on here a little bit since you know the people who hang out with me every day would probably want to see this where it is right now. So yeah, I'm just hopping on for a few minutes. It's too early for Tony to hop on. It's only 6:30 there. So I just saw a little brush touch up on the computer there. I'm actually out of that color. I think it was if that's the case, it sucks because any little bit left. So one of the things I'm waiting on is decal paper. I'm actually going to call a hobby town there's another hobby town it's a little bit of a drive, but they actually might have some decal paper because I'd like to get that part done. Yeah, I'm out of that. That's black metallic from Vallejo, so I don't have to see if they have it. But the Hobby Lobby or the hobby town near me is out of it. So yeah, all this looks good. The decals turned out pretty nice on the folders. This says top secret on there. Confidential, top secret. I just found those on that graphic online. Glasses. I think the decanter turned out pretty good. If I had to do one thing differently, I probably would have put less tint in the resin and stuff in here. It's a little dark, I think, but it looks good. That's like the only thing that's like I would have done is probably put like a little less tint in there. But there's nothing I can do about it now. I can't. There's no going back because these are. I would destroy these trying to get that out, especially this one because it's like the way it's been made. Anyway, these books turned out really nice. This actually took a long time. I did these on the weekend, so I masked off all the gold gilding. So I spent half a day just painting the books and the folders, like 6 hours on Saturday last weekend. And there's trash in my paint. There's not a whole lot I can do about that, unfortunately. But yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna work on the base today. I should be able to get it built and hopefully prepped for paint. So I bought some really nice plywood. Like the brown liquor. Yeah. So I'm a bourbon drinker, and it's usually bourbon is usually more brown than this. I guess it depends on what kind you drink, but it's not quite as I don't know. I would have changed it up a little bit. That's the only thing that's kind of I would have changed. But other than that, I love everything else about it. Like spot on. Yeah, it looks good though. And Tony, I think it's gonna look great in Tony's collection. The gold looks great. That kind of nice muted gold that he chose, and then the blue on the suit with the metallic blue. Everything just works really well together. The fur on him is like I think the perfect color for beast fur. I've seen it all over the place. I've seen with some purple in his face, and that looks good sometimes, but I think this looks pretty comic accurate in my opinion, even though I don't read comics, but the artwork I've seen, this looks pretty damn close to it. But yeah, just a really fun piece. I'm glad I finally get to paint one of these after owning 3 of them, and like I said, this is the piece that got me into the statue world, just like wondering what it was and how to get one and all that stuff. So it's kind of like a nice full circle moment. So there are some still out there unpainted, because people keep posting the photos of their unpainted kits on my work in progress posts on Facebook. So there's still kits out there. I don't know how many. I don't know how many. You know, this one obviously that I sold to myself, they were unpainted, so I'm not sure if you guys still have them or not. But there you go. Just a short little stream to show you kind of it pretty much done. And then I'm gonna work on the base today. That's it. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do in here in the workshop. It's gonna be outside. And luckily, we warmed up a little bit today, so we're starting to defrost. I think it's only gonna get down to, what's it right now? We're definitely above freezing right now. But it's like my table saw. All my saws like that I use for woodwork or my storage shed outside. It's like 39 degrees outside, so. And then Hobby Lobby, or not Hobby Town, Hobby Town should open in about an hour. So I'll call the one that's a little bit of a drive and see if they have the decal paper, because they do. I'll go get that, and they can print the decals for the books. Hopefully, we'll see. But there you go, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And if I get to the point where the base is ready for paint, I'll stream tomorrow painting the base. And then we have to come up with a color scheme for the base. I don't want to do a wood grain, because obviously the desk is wood. I may just do like a granite kind of effect. I thought about doing a marble top, but since this is marble, kind of a marble look, I don't want to do like 2 marbles. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do like a really dark kind of stone look. I'll have to talk to Tony about that. But anyway, there you go. So the Gundam I'm going to start like not next week. I'm going to do one more project where it's 2 busts. And because that guy's been hounding me to do his stuff. And then I'll start the Gundam after that. I'm actually going to have a call with Joseph today, the client for the Kshatriya, and we're going to go over color schemes, because I need to order paints and supplies, because those things take a lot of supplies. So like I said, when I do Gundams, I charge my normal rate, but then also charge supplies on top of that, because the amount of supplies is just it's hundreds of dollars for paint, primer, tape, all that stuff. So like when I did the Sazabi a couple of years ago for him, I basically ordered a bunch of crap. I spent like, I don't know, like $400 on supplies, and I didn't use it all. So when I got done, I added up what I used, and I just gave him a credit of, I think I gave him a credit of like $150 toward the end, the last part of his payment. So I just wanted, like, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of stuff, and I'll just credit you what I don't use, and he's like, totally cool. But Joseph's a really easy guy to work with. So yeah, I'm just curious to see what kind of colors he wants. I know what I would do on the Kshatriya. I would just do, you know, your kind of traditional like 2 or 3 tone green with some shading. I've seen some really high gloss ones, kind of candy colors, but I don't know. I like it more traditional green. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. But this looks so good. This is one that's going to be hard to see to go. My local hobby town will have it every once in a while. I just order it online. I mean, I actually have a bunch. I've got a bunch right here. This is actually left over from the Kshatriya. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 jars of Surfacer 1200 left over from the Sazabi, so we'll use that. So the first round of primer I'll do will be the Stynel Res on it, because that'll be a nice kind of, it's a little thicker, so I'll put that on, and that'll be like the one I sand down for as a guide coat. Because when I prime all the armor parts, they get primed, and then like 90% of that primer gets sand off as I prep the surfaces. So, and then I'll finish up with Mr. Surfacer, because it'll just go on smoother. But there you go. Again, I'm just me rambling on. Anyway, like I said, this is gonna be a hard one to let go. This is one I would like to keep, because it's kind of got a special place in my heart. Again, just kind of like, this is the piece that I saw that got me like really wondering what this stuff was. So it's gonna be. I'm glad Tony's getting it, and I'm glad I did it for him. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling, and I'm gonna work on the base today, and we will be back. Hopefully, I'll be back tomorrow to paint the base. So today's goal is to get it all assembled, get all the nail heads filled, and all that stuff done. So tomorrow I can paint it and call this guy officially a wrap. But yeah, there you go. That's it for today. Just me rambling for 15 minutes. So we'll catch you guys later. Yeah, maybe someone will send me one after seeing this. I wouldn't mind doing it again. It's an expensive paint job. Basically it's about $3,000 for me to do this thing. So, yeah, $2,500 to $3,000 is a good estimate. Exactly a little over 2 weeks. So, these kits are going for, they were going for, I saw for a while there, I saw people selling them for like $8,000 to $10,000 for the kit. I don't know if those guys were getting that, but that's what they were asking for it. I think if you can find one for, I know what Tony paid for this, but I'm not going to say that because it's his business. It was more than what I sold it to. So Demetrios is the one I sold this to, and that's who Tony bought this from. He paid almost twice of what I sold it to Demetrios for, because I sold it to Demetrios for what I paid, which was like $1,800. So then, Tony bought it for him, and it wasn't quite twice as much, but I think he got a fair price. I think the price was fair on this because it is a true artist proof. This was Sheridan Deuce's personal kit. So I think that does demand a slightly higher price because it belonged to the sculptor. It's a true artist proof. So another artist proof would be if it belonged to Bushi. If it was Bushi Collector's personal kit, that would be considered an artist proof since he was the art director. So anything outside of those two, they're not artist proofs. So don't fall for that artist proof crap when they say I have an artist proof, because unless the artists themselves had it and signed off on it, it's not an artist proof. So I think that demands a little higher price on this. So yeah, I think if you can find a kit in the $3,000 to $4,000 range, that seems high, but I think that's a fair price for this kit. When it starts pushing $5,000 and up, I'm like, that's that's up to you if you think it's worth it. So, but they are becoming more rare to find unpainted. I know there's at least 2 more out there because they've posted, like I said, they posted their pictures of their unpainted kit on my work in progress photos on Facebook. So there's at least 2 out there, if not more. I don't know how many they made. This part's pretty much done. He's 99% done painting miniature. All I got to do, I was mentioning when I first came on, I've got to print a decal for this book, and then put the dry transfers on the computer for the keyboard. But because of the weather here, all my orders got delayed. So they were supposed to show up yesterday or Tuesday, but now everything's delayed till Friday from Amazon. I might be able to get the decals done today if there's a shop that's local to me to get the decal paper to do the books, if that's the case. But today I'm going to go outside and work on the base. I'm building a wood base so this guy can be on, so you can put him on a turntable and rotate him or whatever. I think it'd be cool if you put him like on a table and had it motorized so it spun. Next on the bench is going to be 2 busts from the Sweet Life. John Allred, Jeff Camp, and George have a company called the Sweet Life, if you don't know what that is. So at Wonderfest every year, they have a party in their suite, and they call it the Sweet Life Party. So it's basically open to anyone. Anyone at Wonderfest is welcome to go to their suite at the hotel and hang out and drink and have a good time and just, hang out. So they started a small company called Sweet Life, and they've done a bunch of busts from Tombstone. So I've got, I forgot the 2 I have. They've done 3 or 4 of the characters so far, and I've got 2 of them for a client. So that's next. And then after that, I'm going to start the Kshatriya. So those busts will should take me a week to do those 2. There's some pretty small details on them that I got to paint. And then onto the Kshatriya. And I'll probably break the Kshatriya up a little bit because I do have some other figures that people are bugging me to do. Technically, they should wait because of the time frame I got them. But the Kshatriya we've been talking about doing for a year. So that's why I'm kind of going to start it soon. And I want to get it done for Wonderfest. So I need to start on it now. But, yeah. So anyway, Again, I would love to do another one. It was a lot of fun. This pony was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. Especially had a lot of fun doing the desk. Everyone was like, "You're gonna hate the desk. You're gonna hate the desk." I had a blast doing the desk. It was actually, again, it was the easiest part of the whole kit. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that desk took me forever." I got it done in 2 days. I thought it would take three or more, but yeah, 2 days to get the desk done. Again, once you kind of find a technique and you just kind of get in a groove, it's not that hard. And that gel stain worked out perfectly. When it looks good in photos, but in person, this looks like it was hand carved out of wood. It's crazy how good it looks. It's like, again, I don't toot my own horns a lot, but I'm gonna toot my horn on this one because it looks so damn good. It's just like, yeah. There's nothing on here that doesn't look great, you know. So anyway, again, I'm gonna stop rambling on because that's what I do. And then I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully painting the base. So you guys have a good day. Bye.